When you retire, you want to make sure your expenses are covered, even though you're no longer earning a steady paycheck. Two popular ways to save for retirement are Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs. In this video, we are going to investigate which route is faster. We will be working backwards. We will start with how much money we need at the time of retirement. And then we will see how much time it takes to reach your goals in both traditional and Roth IRAs. Before we move deeper into the topic, here is a quick refresher on IRA. An IRA, which stands for Individual Retirement Account, is a special account that helps you save for retirement with certain tax benefits. In a traditional IRA, you typically contribute pre-tax money. This also helps you in tax deductions for now. In this case, you are going to pay taxes when you withdraw the money at the time of retirement. This includes the money you invested and the capital gains. On the other side, in Roth IRA, you contribute after-tax money, so you do not get any tax advantages for the current year. But your withdrawals at the time of retirement are tax-free in this case. Retirement spending varies a lot. You might have lower housing costs, but higher healthcare costs. Also, it depends on your lifestyle and liabilities at the age of retirement. As per an article from Fidelity, a ballpark average annual spending for people age 65 plus is $65,149. As the age grows, the requirement further goes down in terms of expenses. For instance, at the age of 75, annual spending goes down to $53,031. Please note that all these figures are picked up from Consumer Expenditures Report from Bureau of Labor Department. For simplicity, let's stick to the figure of $65,000 you would need at the time of retirement every year. How much money you need and how much you need to earn are two different things. This is primarily due to the taxes. So let's calculate the amount you need as annual earnings. And this is going to vary based on what IRA account you choose. If you have a Roth IRA, withdrawals in retirement are not taxed. If you need $65,000 a year, you simply withdraw $65,000, assuming you follow Roth IRA rules. In case of traditional IRA, withdrawals are taxed as ordinary income. To end up with $65,000 after taxes, you may need between $75,000 to $90,000 of gross pre-tax income. The reason we have this range is because people can fall in different tax brackets. Also, depending on which state you live, different taxes will be applied to you. The best case scenario is you are filing married and living in a state where there is no tax, and the worst case scenario is where you are filing single and living in a state with highest taxes, like California. Let's reiterate our annual earnings to put these figures on the wall. Roth IRA target, $65,000 pre-tax. And traditional IRA target, $75,000 to $90,000 pre-tax. We will be considering 4% rule to calculate the lump sum amount you need at the age of 65. As per Bankrate.com, the 4% rule is a popular retirement withdrawal strategy that suggests retirees can safely withdraw the amount equal to 4% of their savings during the year they retire, and then adjust for inflation each subsequent year for 30 years. In case of Roth IRA, if you need $65,000 each year in retirement, and it's tax-free, and you go with a 4% rule, you should aim for about $1,625,000. If you contribute the annual IRA limit of $6,500 every year, it would take about 35 to 36 years to reach this figure. This is with the assumption that the IRA assets are growing at 10% annual growth rate. We already discussed, in case of traditional IRA, you need $75,000 to $90,000 annually, before taxes. If we again apply the 4% rule, this translates to a lump sum in the range of $1,875,000 to $2,250,000. How long to get there is a bit tricky in this case. In reality, you will be contributing $6,500 every year. But the comparison will not be fair if we do not count the tax savings in each of these years. With a traditional IRA, you may get a tax break on your contributions right now. For example, if you're in the 24% bracket, you save about $1,560 on every $6,500 contributed, or roughly $2,000 if you're adding state taxes too. You could invest this tax saving also in a non-IRA investment. And this will make the comparison fair between Roth and traditional IRA savings. Again, let's assume the growth rate for the additional amount also at 10%. contributing the total amount, which is $8,500 per year, at 10% growth. You would reach the expected range in 34 to 36 years. Clearly we cannot declare either Roth or traditional as a clear winner. It seems both Roth and traditional IRAs take roughly around the same number of years to meet the retirement goals, which is somewhere in the range of 34 to 36 years. Please note that we made multiple assumptions to make these calculations, like average annual returns, annual expenses, annual withdrawals, and many others. Most of these assumptions come from historical data or typical rule of thumb figures. The actual timeline might change, based on real-world factors like market performance, tax law updates, personal circumstances, etc. In spite of these assumptions, our calculations are fair, in terms of bringing out an important take on this topic, which is: neither Roth nor traditional IRA is faster. They both help in achieving the retirement goals, in approximately same time frame. Then the question arises: how do I choose between Roth and traditional? To answer this, let's look at the other important factors. Your future tax bracket. If you expect to be in a higher tax bracket during retirement, perhaps due to multiple income sources, then Roth could be more beneficial, since withdrawals are tax-free. If you anticipate staying in a lower tax bracket, a traditional IRA might be better, because you get the immediate tax deduction on contributions, and will owe less tax when withdrawing later. Immediate tax break. One key benefit of a traditional IRA is the tax deduction when you contribute. This can free up more money for your current expenses, which can be especially helpful if you're on a tight budget. Tax-free withdrawals. Roth IRAs allow you to take money out tax-free in retirement, which can simplify tax planning. You won't have to worry about how your withdrawals affect your taxable income when you're no longer working. Required minimum distributions. With a traditional IRA, you must start withdrawing a minimum amount once you reach a certain age, currently 73 for many retirees, depending on IRS rules. This forces you to take out money even if you don't need it. A Roth IRA has no such requirement. You can let your savings grow tax-free for as long as you want, which might be helpful if you want to keep money for later in retirement, or pass it on to heirs. Overall, my personal favorite is the Roth IRA, because of its simplicity and flexibility. Tax-free withdrawals later on can make life a lot easier, and there's no pressure from required withdrawals at a certain age. That said, this is just my opinion based on the facts and my preferences. I'm not a professional advisor, so please consider your own situation or consult a financial professional before making any big decisions.